Hey Argo fans, I'm Kamille Clark, and today I'm joined with special guest Marcus Stokes of UWF Football. Marcus, thanks for coming in today.
Thanks for having me.
So you're now in your third year here at UWF, technically a redshirt sophomore on the field. Just tell me how you feel you've grown, not only as a quarterback, but just as a person since you first stepped on the campus.
I feel like I'll start with the person, part first, because I feel like that's the most important part. And I feel that I can't grow as a football player if I don't grow as a person first. So my parents always told me that, you can learn from your mistakes, but you can't forget about them. And, I kind of ended up taking that and running with it when I got to college because, I have made mistakes in the past. And as long as I'm able to grow from them, I can't forget them. And I think that also translates to the football field because, if I throw an interception, it's like, all right, next play, what did I do on that play? All right, I got to change it and let's move on. So it's kind of just like, the same mentality for both.
So when you think back to when you first fell in love with the game, talk about some of the people, and whether it be athletes or just football players in general, who inspired you growing up.
I would say that, my dad was an athlete, but, obviously he transitioned from being an athlete to a coach at some point. And honestly, I would say that he was probably one of my, biggest influences on playing the game of football. Now, he never forced me to play football. I'm not going to say that, but he was definitely the biggest influence because when I was a little kid, he coached for 30 plus years. So when I was a little kid, he would take me to his practices, take me to his games, and just being able to be around that type of environment. I think I fell in love with the environment more than the game because the environment comes from the game, And another one, I would say probably Aaron Rodgers. I watched a lot of Aaron Rodgers growing up, and the way that he throws the ball, I try and, I put my little twist on it, but I like to model after how he throws the ball and how he plays and how he's able to make plays with his legs, but that's not his entire game, because at the end of the day, we're quarterbacks, so we're ready to throw the ball.
So this year you stepped into more of a leadership role. Just talk about what type of leader you are. Some people are pretty quiet and go about things in silence, but sometimes you have to get in people's faces. So What works for you?
To be honest, I really like to do a little bit of everything. I'm not quiet, I'm not super loud all the time. It's kind of like a mix. When you're a leader, I believe that actions speak louder than words. And so when people see how much work you're putting in, see how much, effort you're putting in and the amount of time that you're putting into your craft and work and being able to, be the best leader that you can be in order for the team to succeed, I think that's where people notice it the most. And obviously, being a leader, you gotta be vocal at something. You can't just lead with your actions the entire time because, when the entire team is down, who are they gonna look to first? Who are they gonna, come up to first if they need advice or something like that? First is gonna be the head coach, right? That's always, he's the big man, so you can't really argue with that.
Yeah.
And then second one is the quarterback. And so, I try to do my best to have a little bit of everything in my leadership look.
So when you're not playing football, what does a typical day in the life for you look like? An off day where you don't have to clock in?
Really, I just be chilling. I have a girlfriend. I chill with my girlfriend, watch a movie or so, and I try and get out the house, maybe go for a walk.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm lying. I probably don't be going for a walk because my legs are tired from football. But I really just, I don't play the game much. I really just like to chill and just hang out with my friends. So.
Being a former athlete, I know that every day isn't the best day. Sometimes, you just have a hard day or you don't want to be bothered. Who is somebody in that locker room that you feel you can always look to encourage you or to lift you up when you're going through tough times?
To be honest, it's really hard to name off just one specific person. Our team, and a lot of people can tell you this, our team this year is more bonded together than ever, more glued together than ever. And so it's kind of just you can really go to anybody. And I think that's the best part about our team this year is that when somebody is down, they don't hesitate to go to anybody on the team, whether it's a starter, whether it's a backup, whether it's a scout team guy, everybody is really on the same level. And so when somebody has a problem, nobody shies away from doing it.
And lastly, Marcus, who is your what or your why? What keeps you grounded and motivated? Because, it's pretty easy to listen to the outside noise or let the outsiders get to you. Who is that person or thing in your life that keeps you motivated?
I would say the biggest thing for me is my family. Growing up my whole life, I wouldn't say I have, the perfect family. I don't think there's such thing as the perfect family. You're always going to have problems, but at the end of the day, they are your family. They're your blood. They got to be able to have your back no matter what. And I got my last name tatted on me. My dad's birthday, my mom's tatted on my chest. My grandpa, who passed away about 3 years ago, just as like a symbol to the other people. They might not know it, but I try my best to let people know that I am a family guy. And, one day I want to be able to have a good family of my own, have my kids be able to rely on family when times go bad for them. So I think I kind of just, I really rely on family for a lot of things when stuff gets tough.
Thank you, Marcus, for your time. I'm Kamille Clark, and you're watching Argos Football in Flow College.